This is the find of the day. Let's go wash that off. Well, good day everyone. I'm back on the river again today. Glad to be back here. Found a really short little stretch between canoe launch and a bridge, and so not going to be as rushed today as I usually am. Looking forward to the day. Let's see what I can find. This piece here intrigues me. I don't know, looks like a piece of jasper with an agate top, or, well, it's botryoidal there. Small. It's a nice little piece though. I also found a piece, this one, and it looks like agate type material in host rock, and yeah, I might take that as well. This piece, if you look at it just at a glance, you might think it's a piece of granite, but if you look at it real close, those dark spots are actually pockets of chalcedony or agate, maybe even, yeah, they look more like chalcedony than they do quartz. There's not much of a crystalline structure there, so that's a nice piece of red jasper and agate mixed. That'll make that'll be good for some projects. So I was looking at this piece right here, which is a pretty typical piece of chert or agate or silica of some sort. It's kind of gray, mixes into a light brown, a tan. When I saw this piece right here, which looks absolutely spectacular, blue to a purple, and so and then I saw this piece down here, which has some banding in it, it looks like. Here's a couple more pieces. This one, your yellow jasper that I said I wasn't going to pick up any of, and here it has a nice agate around the edge, quartz in the middle, kind of a pocket or a inclusion there, so that might be an interesting one to grind and make smooth on that edge. And then I found another piece of pretty nice banded chert, and it likewise has some an agate, little agate inclusion there. So take those two pieces with me. Here's my first fossil of the day. It looks like a bit of a horn coral. Nice piece. So here's another one of these coarse nothing pieces. It looks like nothing, except for the chalcedony nodules sticking out of it, the silica nodules sticking out of it. And if you've watched my last cutting videos, you know that I took one of these, sliced it open, and there was actually a geode inside. And this one, there just isn't a whole lot of silica showing through. There's some sand on the back. and just maybe 2 or 3 spots of this silica, and I don't know if they're pebbles lodged in there or if there's actually something, but I don't think I'm going to leave this. I'm going to take it and slice it open, and if it's nothing, it's nothing, but we're going to find out. So I've got a couple more pieces that are petrified coral that I just washed off. This one was laying upside down, and I just picked it up, was interested because of the swirl pattern. But when I washed it off, I saw this, and that's typical of coral, that lining right there, as well as the honeycomb pattern on top, which is smaller than some of the coral pieces. The holes are smaller, so it's a different type, or maybe an immature type. And then this one, out of focus, in focus. There again, the lining on the side caught my attention. It's very similar to the piece, a little bit larger than the one piece I found in my last video. And it's that pattern that is typical of coral. And here, if you look at either side, you can't even detect a honeycomb pattern. But if you look at it under magnification, let's say after you grind it off or polish it smooth, you will see a very small honeycomb pattern. So again, a different type of coral, but both of those are coral. Nice pieces, really nice pieces. So it's kind of a cloudy, cool day, comfortably cool, very comfortable. I'm floating here at the bend in a river, looking upriver, and right coming up here, I got a gravel bar there, but better yet, we have this huge eroded area coming up, and these areas have always treated me well. There's always good things to be found at the base or on gravel bars shortly after. Well, I'm here. Look at all that delicious gravel. So my first thing that really caught my attention that I haven't seen before is a piece down here. Just the lines inside those pockets. Intrigue me, and I'm guessing it's a fossil of some sort, maybe coral. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to take that one home. We'll see what other treasures I can find here. So this piece here caught my eye, and it looks like a piece of jasper and agate together. It's got some nice pattern in there, so I'll take that. I also picked up another one of these, plain brown with silica on the outside, and so I don't know, that first one that I cut convinced me I need to be looking for these, so we'll cut cut the ones that I've accumulated so far in the next video, and we'll see how many of them are good and how many of them are duds. Here's a piece I expect to be a fossil. Yep. It's tapered, so I would assume that's a horn coral. I'll take it. Here's a nice piece I just picked up and washed off. It's gray and black to a dark blue. I like the contrast. A lot of the lining and the banding that we have here is not very stark contrast, but this is pretty nice. Here's another green rock with some banding in it. Kind of nice. So here's another piece of silica, layered, look like laid down in layers, or it's fractured on the one side, and you can see some very distinct banding in there, even without getting it wet. So take that home, slice it up, at least slice up the one side and polish the one side. This is the find of the day. Let's go wash that off. That's fascinating. The lines stop right there. Look how distinct those are. That's almost like superior agate quality banding right there. And boy, oh boy. But it's, I assume anyway, it's banded chert. Wow, what a piece. See, we typically don't get our banding here where I collect is rarely that distinct, that pronounced. It's always more subtle. That is beautiful. See, this is the type of banding that I'm accustomed to seeing here in where I collect in central Illinois. And this piece, actually, the banding is actually pretty distinct, but it's a lot more subtle than that piece of banded chert. It's not as distinct. And this one, like I said, is actually fairly clear to see. It's usually not this clear. Nice piece, though. This one is. And here is another piece of coral. You can tell by the side, and it's not real clear on top. Bottom is actually more clear. honeycomb pattern, but all around, all sides, you see that ray pattern, or the cells of the coral growing out. Nice piece. Now look at this chert. It's almost like a seam. Well, you got more bands on the back side. Instead of the one thick band, you got some thinner bands. Coarse on the bottom, a little bit coarser on the top, and very waxy and glassy on the side. That's a nice piece. That's a really nice piece. Here's another pretty spectacular piece of banded chert. That's pretty nice. Different from the previous ones, but nice in its own right. So here's one of these gnarly quartz nodules that I come across every now and then. And I pick it up and I turn it over. And I see that. Let me zoom up for you. Forgive the shakes. I have a picture here for you in just a moment. Well, there's the bridge where I plan on taking out and ending today's journey. Well, just wandering my last little gravel bar island back to the kayak. I first off want to thank you for joining me on the journey today. You know, in the past, I have not asked that you like and subscribe and give it a thumbs up or a comment or anything like that, because I've always thought if you liked it, you would give it a thumbs up, and if you have watched more than a couple of my videos and liked them, you would subscribe. I just kind of trusted you to do this. I had another YouTuber suggest that I make the comments that everybody else does at the end of their videos. Please like and subscribe and all that jazz. And so I guess that's what I'm doing right now. If you like it, feel free to comment if you hear me say something that isn't quite right. I'm still learning the whole geology of the area where I'm rockhounding and where I live, and so I may not have it all right. And let's see. Also, you'll note on the last video and this video, a little bit different format. If I show you in the course of the video me picking up a rock, I will immediately afterwards show you a picture, which will probably be better than the shaky camera work that I usually do. A picture of the particular piece. But if you wait till the very end of the video, what I'm planning on starting to do is show you the whole day's catch, if you will, or finds, as well as some individual pictures of some of the nicer pieces that I didn't film in the course of of the day. So the pieces that I actually video earlier on in the course of the video will not be shown at the end of the video. It will only be the pieces that you haven't already seen. So if you're really interested in what I am finding, I encourage you to wait to the very end of the video, watch to the very end, because I did find some pretty nice pieces today, not all of which I videoed. So just some thoughts. Anyway, again, thanks for coming along, and hold on here and you'll see some more pictures here shortly.